Hey guys, what is up? What is up? I've got a fun little video today. What I got is a comparison of the new Mattel Matchbox Land Rover Gen 2 and a Lesney Matchbox No.12 Land Rover, produced in the mid-60s. Now the new casting, it's a throwback to the older one, and I thought it would be interesting to see in what ways are they similar and what ways are they different. Does the new model hold up to the old? Well, let's find out. I'll be right back. Guys, I have got a fun little video for you today. What I want to do is I want to compare two Lesney castings. Well, one Lesney casting and one Matchbox casting. What I've got on the turntable right now is a green Lesney 12C. Now I also have these. Now here's a blue one, which is more similar to the new one that's out, but the color isn't just dead on. And then I got another one. I have a little fleet of Land Rovers. All right, so here is the new version of this casting. It's a metal body, plastic base car, which these are the same. Like, this was the cost reduced version of this casting. The 12B was a metal body, metal base, but this one is also plastic base. So they're similar in that respect. The tires, the new Lesney has a thicker tire and definitely a different wheel. This has the old Lesney plastic tires. So as you can see, they're pretty similar. I wouldn't say they're dead-on matches, but they're pretty close. One obvious difference between the two is that the older car does have an interior, and the newer casting, the windows are just blacked out. Now I assume that's a cost-cutting move. These cars usually don't have a plastic accessory piece, and these cars do have that top piece, and so instead of getting an interior, you got this top piece right here. But outside of that, they look pretty good. The new casting does have mirrors, which I approve of. Now, to compare the colors, I don't have a vintage car in as good a condition, but here's something that's in fair condition, and you can see that blue is a little off. I wish they would have been a little more, true to the original casting when it came to the color. And here's something else I'm seeing. The older casting has a window right here. If you see that. The newer casting it kind of has a detail to kind of suggest there's a window there, but there's no actual window. So this guy right here, I am going to be restoring that particular car. So let's go ahead and take him apart, and I am going to take this guy apart as well, and we will take a look at. So I got these all taken apart, and I really had some great video where I pulled these apart by grinding down the little mushrooms on the castings. I did it with my little Dremel here. It worked out great. I didn't really do any damage to the bases. And then I realized that to actually film stuff, you have to push the record button. So anyway, here's the pieces all together. You can see they're pretty much built the same. Of course, the biggest difference is the big gaping hole in the roof of the new casting. But really, they compare favorably. Here's the old base versus the new base. The old base actually is more detailed. Has, I think, better wheels and tires as well. This is just a very bare bones functional base for these vehicles. Nothing fancy. Whereas the newer one has it's got lots of details in there. And the wheels spin a lot faster. And here's the plastic accessory piece. These are very, very similar. You really have to give Mattel credit because they really did their homework with this. They're basically the same thing. Here we go. This one has a little bit more relief in the mold. This one is very flat at the top. But outside of that, the details are almost the same. And the details probably are a little crisper with this. You know, maybe that has to do with this came out of a mold that was old. Hey guys, I just need to cut in here for just a second. I forgot to mention that the little accessory piece that comes with the new car, it's compatible with other cars that also have accessory pieces. So if you have other Matchbox cars that have a little topper on it, you can mix and match those. As a matter of fact, there's a second alternative version of the new car that has a different top on it. It's very similar, but it's a little smaller and it has lights, like a light bar on it, instead of just the boxes. But I thought that was cool and worth the mention. So let's get back to the video. Here's the glass. You can see the new model. It's a very black tinted, deeply tinted plastic. It's not completely opaque, but it's almost completely opaque. And here's the old one, which obviously needs to be polished. And of course, what the new casting doesn't have is the interior. And this is a fairly detailed interior. It's not the most detailed interior I've seen, but there's some details on the seats themselves. You see the transmission hump. It has seats in the back. Little details on the sides here, and a steering wheel. I really wish the new one had an interior, but what are you going to do? Plus, it has a post, so you'd be able to see the post. Not that that stopped Mattel in the past, but the post would be visible. So the old model gets away without having a post in the middle by having these tabs that the base slides into, and then there's a post up front right there. You know, that's probably a better design overall, but I'm sure Mattel has good reasons why they did it the way they did it. At least they make sense to them. Okay. You know, detail-wise, the castings themselves are very, very similar. I think you could maybe argue, since the newer one has the a better paint job, the tampos on here kind of spruce it up a little bit. I don't think the old one has any paint besides the blue. No details that are painted. Maybe the older version, the 12B, did have some painted details, but the 12C didn't that I see. Okay, I guess that is going to do it for the comparison of these two models. To be honest with you, I'm surprised how similar they are, and appreciative of that fact, actually, because I think Mattel really did their homework with this, and they made a product that really gives a lot of respect to the original. They're the same in so many ways. Really, even if you cut this post out, this window might actually fit in there. It's that similar. I don't know if the interior would fit. I think the hole is in the wrong spot, but that might be an interesting mashup. You know, maybe I'll try that if I can find one of these, old ones that are completely wasted. Because I couldn't, I couldn't part this guy out just for that. He's my next project, by the way. I'll be giving this guy a repaint, so stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for me. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. All right, take care.